Hey guys, this is Patrick Powers. This video is for Objective-C 1 and for the May 2012 class, week 2. So really we're just reflecting back on this past week's assignment and kind of analyzing what we learned and how we applied it to the project. So I really just went through one by one each activity as to what we were learning and how I understood it and how I applied it. Or maybe the lack thereof. So in general, I felt that this week was fairly easy. It wasn't too difficult watching all the videos. I have been using lynda.com as well to help just to get a different perspective on different types of videos in referencing the same type of idea. So that's been useful. And overall, the videos have been extremely helpful. It's back to one of those classes where we are, it seems, following along, which I'm completely okay with, and a little bit of outside research for little things here and there, and like I said, watching lynda.com obviously to get a different perspective as well. And just going through the activities that we had, debugging and breakpoints. I feel like we pretty much learned this in week 1, even though the video wasn't until now. We were console logging and learning how to debug already in week 1 and using the breakpoints. Maybe it was more the Lynda videos that I was watching, but I learned about the breakpoints very quickly, and it's very useful. So in terms of just running the assignment, definitely using breakpoints is easy to jump to a point and then just run through the next couple lines of code one by one so that you make sure that your code is working. Memory allocation. I really wasn't sure what to expect from the memory allocation portion of Objective-C. It is something that I knew was part of Objective-C, something that we were going to have to learn that is almost non-existent in JavaScript. And I'm still a little bit confused about the 32 and 64-bit difference in allocation and how they relate to the different variables. It's just not 100% clear to me. So I think as we're using these variables more and more in the future, it'll just come into practice and I'll understand through the actual practice of it. But I guess I'm reading the notes that I actually wrote down about this. I feel like the general idea of storing int and char and these other variables into the memory. I understood that in the very visual video of the little blocks of memory and like storing those integers or characters. I get that. I feel like I need more practical application of how the memory and the allocation of that memory within programs or applications, how it truly affects the overall code and the running of it. NSString. At first I was a little confused about NSString. And it was watching one of the Lynda videos that I felt I got a better grasp of it, and this is my best guess at it. NSString, obviously in JavaScript, a string was a variable type, and in Objective-C, the variable types are the int, the char, the long, the short, and NSString is almost like a subset variable. It's not part of the original language. It's something that was created through the other variables in a sense, or so you don't define them in the same way as the int or the char, and it was something created to hold those strings or those longer sets of characters. At least that's the idea. So it's just not native to the language exactly. It was built into the language. NSArray, once I understood NSString a little bit better, NSArray came along pretty easy. It's very similar in the concept and how you actually set up the syntax of the array of the string. They're similar. So once I got one, I was able to get the other. And the videos helped out with them. The UI elements. I think it'll be cool once we actually use the interface builder within Xcode. It's obviously drag and drop, and it's just really nice and clean, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the UI labels. once you got a handle on it, it's kind of like you just copy and paste and change the actual variable name that you had created, or the allocation of the memory to that variable name. So that wasn't too bad. I had ever so slight difficulty of the coloring, so there's only a certain number of colors that were actually set, and then you had to use different code to get different colors. And I didn't get that at first. I still don't 100% get it, and I feel like there's other ways that you can maybe do it, rather than the RGB different color levels for red, blue, and is it green? But anyway, I worked on that. I got that done, and yeah, I mean the overall the end project this week is not pretty, but I understand with the concept behind it. You know, and just learning the basics of creating a page using code rather than the interface builder. So I get that. Other than that, I mean, I got finished pretty quickly. I was actually finished yesterday already. Today's only Thursday, so I'm ahead of the game, which is awesome, and I'm definitely looking forward to learning more. Thanks.